All right, welcome to Moonchildren. I just wanted to log on and let you all know that you are in the right place. The show will be starting in 5 minutes. We're just going to let any stragglers give them a little time to tune in, but you guys are in the right place and wait patiently, and we'll be back soon with a great show for you guys. All right, welcome to All right. Hello and welcome to White Mouse Theater Productions' virtual live staged reading of my play Moonchildren. This is a little bit weird to be taking this on the live platform virtually, but we definitely wanted to give the world a story, like do something for the production that we were supposed to have this past spring. We're actually going to be performing in about a week, but do something to commemorate, honor all of the really hard work that we were doing. My play was part of White Mouse's playwriting fellowship, so I started actually writing this play in the beginning of the summer, and it's been developing since then. It had a staged reading in the fall with 3 different actors, and I got a lot of feedback during that staged reading, and I went back to the drawing board and I re-edited it. It's about double the length that it was, so a lot of hard work went into it. And then the beginning of the spring semester, we really hit it home, trying to read through it, a lot of times really digging deep into who these characters were and really examining all of the different aspects of the play. So we had just begun the blocking portion of rehearsals when everything got shut down and canceled. So I'm really disappointed that we aren't able to share this live with you all in person. But the great news about this is that we'll be able to share it with a lot more people that wouldn't have usually been able to see that, which is one bonus, I guess. But I will just introduce the story a little bit, and then after that, I'm going to add all the actors and the stage manager, and we're going to do a read through of everything. And then after that, I'm going to have our costume designer on, and he's going to talk about his costume designs that he had worked on and shared those with you all, as well as just his inspiration and some of his thought behind it. And then after that, I'm going to add everyone back on, and you all will have the chance, if you want, to type in any questions that you might have for us or anything that you want to say. And we'll be on for like 5 to 10 minutes doing a Q&A. And if nobody's interested, we'll just end the feed there, but just providing that opportunity for you guys. I also have posted the script on the Facebook event page, as well as our costume designers' designs. So if you want a closer look at those, or if you want to follow along during the reading, you guys also can do that as well. Otherwise, I think I've covered all of the instructions and everything that you guys need to know. So I'm going to add the actors. They're really brilliant. I love them to death. They've done such hard work, so I'm really excited for you guys to see them. So I'm going to add them all, and they have their character names next to them, so you can kind of see who is talking. And I'm going to add our stage manager as well. And I'm going to let them get started. I'm going to take myself out of it because I'm unimportant at this point. So without further ado, I present to you guys Moonchildren.
Pre-show. Lights up. Watch enters holding a flashlight that is turned on in a clipboard. Watch walks around the closet and inspects various items and furniture around the space, holding the flashlight up to them, writing notes down on the notepad. After completing a sweep of the room, Watch walks over to a small electrical box, the power breaker, attached to the wall, and puts the clipboard on the ground and the flashlight in between their neck and shoulder. Watch then puts on a pair of goggles and opens the box and tinkers with the mechanisms inside of it, pulling out various tools from their pockets or around the room in an effort to repair it. Finally, sparks are heard or seen, and the star lights up above and are powered on for a brief moment before dying out with a powered down sound effect. After a bit more tinkering, the star lights turn on at full power, shining brightly with the beaming sound of the tube fluorescent lighting found in the American public school system. Watch clicks a button on the power box, and the star lights quickly flash 3 times before turning off. Watch takes the goggles off and picks up the clipboard before writing a few things down on the notepad. Watch closes the power breaker and looks around the room for a final inspection before exiting the closet and closing the door after. The starlights flicker following Watch's exit with a blown fuse sound effect heard after. The lights fade. Lights up. 2 teenage children sitting on the floor of a dusty and dirty room. There is a tarp and some towels set up in the corner as a makeshift bed. There is a broom, a bucket, and some tools, as well as a supply shelf with a radio and some other various tools and knickknacks. The starlights above are turned and are barely visible to the naked eye. Finn and Willow stare at their own selected points off focus in the room as they pass the time. Finn's eyes are closed.
Okay. What color is the ceiling?
What color is the ceiling?
The ceiling.
What color is the ceiling? Ceiling. Is it gray?
Correct.
Boom.
And
Give me another one.
I'm trying to think. Give me a second. Color's the floor.
The floor is it's gray.
You're spot on.
What's new?
Every second.
Time passing by.
5 new things just happened right now.
New moments.
10, 15, maybe even 20 by now.
And so many more to come. Can we get back to the game? My eyes are starting to hurt.
Fine. Back to the game. Game is the name. Colors. Let's see. Color is the shelf.
Shelf. It's gray-ish.
Wow, impressive. 3 out of 3. We've got a perfect game.
Finn opens their eyes.
It's almost as if you can see with your eyes closed.
It's more like it's a pretty good guess that everything in this room is gray.
Oh, well, never tell a soul that you can't.
Why?
You're much more marketable that way, believe me.
If you say so.
I know so.
So what?
So
can
we get back to the game? I think it's my turn.
I guess. Suppose we can. So close your eyes, my good fellow.
Okay, can do.
Willow closes their eyes.
Eyes are now closed.
Okay, good. Now let's see. What color is the wall?
Duh, it's obviously gray.
Good. And what about the bucket?
Ugh, that's too easy. It's gray. The bucket is gray.
Too easy, huh? Well, you are on a roll, Pally, but let's not get ahead of anyone just yet. Let's see. Finn scans the room for something that is not gray. Finn notices the purple broom and picks it up. What about the broom? What color is that?
I don't know. Maybe it's gray?
No, I don't think so.
Winner, Dad brought dinner.
I said the broom is not gray.
What?
I'm sorry, but this broom can't be gray.
I was wrong?
I know gray, and this is not gray.
Well, I knew that. Obviously, it's the color of the broom is clearly
Willow opens their eyes and peeks at the broom. Then, as if they were in a trance, shouts,
purple.
Willow shuts their eyes closed. Hey, no peeking!
What? What are you talking about?
I saw you. You were trying to sneak a peek at this here broom. You're a little cheat. Finn swats Willow. Willow opens their eyes and yelps.
Ow, I wasn't. Jeez.
You're a filthy, lying cheat.
I'm not. I mean, I didn't mean to.
So you're just going to tip the scale in your favor and think I won't notice.
I'm sorry. I couldn't control myself.
And I'm supposed to believe that?
I told you there was nothing I could do. My eyes just opened on their own.
Well, I'm not going to play colors with you anymore. Not if you're going to cheat like that and tell me all these made-up stories.
What do you want me to say? What can I do to say I'm sorry? I'm sorry, okay? I just couldn't control myself.
No self-control.
Apparently.
Well, answer me this then. What's pulper?
Pulper?
You shouted that at me when you opened your eyes?
Wait, purple. I said purple?
Yes.
I said purple.
Yes.
When I said the word, it sounds like a monkey's pulling on my cheeks.
Sure is the weirdest sound I've ever heard. Purple.
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 You know what? No, there's just no good way to say that word.
Then it isn't real. Can't be a word if it isn't real.
How?
You can't believe in something that isn't there. Why put your faith in something that you don't know? Neither of us can remember it, so purple just does not exist. Not to me, at least.
And who put you in charge of deciding that?
Deciding what?
Deciding that purple is just gone an afterthought.
Nobody, but who better than me?
And who put you in charge of being put in charge?
Who put you in charge of asking me so many questions?
Because I want to be able to decide what I think for myself. And asking questions isn't a bad way to start.
Well, anyone would do a better job than a lying little cheat like yourself.
And a nice fresh change of scenery will do wonders for us both. I'll take the job.
All right, fine then, Captain Color, the job is yours.
Thank you.
But if you really think that there's more to purple than what meets our ears, then prove it.
How?
Picture it. This. Let it meet your eyes. A broom. A strange, crazy, and kooky broom with a color so exotic, so mysterious. It must be... Well, what is it?
I don't know.
Well, is it pulper? Is it? Come on, Captain Color, is it pulper? Well, I thought you knew. I thought you said you'd prove it.
It's purple.
So it is.
You're just saying it wrong.
Oh. What's purple then?
It's familiar.
Like a family?
Familiar, like I've seen it before.
You're the only family I can remember. The only thing I can remember. We're familiar.
It's like it's right in the tip of my tongue. Purple. Why can't I remember what purple is? Why can't I remember before?
I wish I knew. I think I like pulper better, though.
You told me everything in this room was gray. Did you lie to me?
I thought everything was.
But the broom isn't. We both know it isn't.
It has to be gray. It has to be.
But it isn't.
I can't even think of any color other than gray.
But we know there are more colors than just gray.
Well, then purple must be a color. This broom must be purple.
But how can there be other colors if neither of us can remember any of them? Why can't we remember? Why don't we know?
It's okay. It's okay. Just close your eyes. Now breathe and relax. Try to think of something happy.
Willow closes their eyes.
I can't think of anything.
What about home?
I can't remember it.
Okay, what about family?
Familiar?
Not to me.
Me neither.
Just you.
And you. I don't remember anyone except you. I thought I needed to think of happy thoughts, though.
Okay, haha, very funny.
Okay. Thinking of you makes me a little happy. But I know that won't last for very long.
Why?
Memories always fade away.
I won't fade away.
Give me something else.
What about the radio? Music always helps put me in the mood.
I guess it's worth a try. Go and get it.
Finn goes and retrieves the radio from the shelf and brings it over, placing it on the ground.
Got it.
Great. Put on something good.
Finn turns the dial on the radio and a commercial begins to play. Both Finn and Willow stare blankly into the distance as it plays. A theme song plays as the commercial begins.
With a storm of the century brewing in your area, there are only so many choices to evacuate. We're offering you a one-way ticket out of your devastation site into a habitable location, all in the lap of luxury. Well, that's of course if you can afford it. Corp is here.
Willow's trance breaks.
Stop it. Just turn it off.
Finn's trance breaks. Finn turns off the radio.
I need something pleasant, not that garbage. Please. Get away.
Finn retrieves the radio from the ground and puts it back on the shelf.
You've got to remember something. Something else in that melon head of yours.
What about the moon?
What about it?
Well, what if I think about that?
The moon?
Yeah, the moon and all the stars. No matter what, they're always there. They've always been the only thing that's there. Always watching.
And the sun, that just doesn't exist? It's gone all of a sudden?
I guess the sun's been there too, but it rises and sets. The stars and the moon, though, they're always there. Even if you can't see them, they're always there.
And why do they matter?
Because they're always there. That's why it matters. I know we must have looked at them all the time. Even if we haven't seen them in a while, I know they're still out there looking over us. What I would give to see them now.
Good. Good, now hold on to that and breathe. Good.
The starlights flicker ever so slightly and make a quick, low whirring sound before dying out. The sound and lights are unnoticed by Willow and Finn. Willow opens their eyes.
Better?
Oh, better.
Good. The moon and stars have returned you to your former glory.
I want to play a game.
And there it is, right on cue.
Come on, please play a game with me.
And why would I ever play a game with you?
Because you love me.
I love you, but how am I supposed to trust that you won't cheat again?
Like you said, I've been returned to my former glory. I have learned my lesson, and I promise there's nothing more important to me than the rules. So will you just play with me?
What's in it for me?
Why does there have to be something to gain? Why can't we just have fun?
What can I say? You're living in a transactional world.
What happened to the best things in life being free?
Nothing's free anymore.
Not even freedom.
You gotta give something up to get something in return. Them's the rules, so cough up.
Putting up with you and all of your commands isn't enough?
Just what is that supposed to mean?
Nothing. You've just been acting a little crazy lately, that's all.
Lately?
Yeah, since we woke up, you've been nothing but uppity with me.
Oh, it's nothing.
Ordering me around like a prisoner.
You've just been acting a little crazy lately.
That's not how I sound at all.
Well,
If you haven't noticed, we're both locked up in the cell, mate.
I'm sorry, but I've been crazy because I care about what happens to us, don't you?
Weren't you listening? I do care. You just don't need to treat me like...
And it doesn't help that you're crazy in your own special way. Loud, rambunctious, you name it. You put our lives on the line every time you act out of line.
Pause.
Don't you care? Don't you care what happens to us?
Of course I care what happens, you idiot. Of course I care. How could I not? I wish there was something I could do, but the most care I can manage right now is to worry, and my worrying won't help to protect us.
We shouldn't be fighting over silly little things like this.
You're the one picking fights. Treating me like I'm a baby.
You're right. I'm sorry, I've just been a little on edge.
Well, we aren't going to get anywhere if we just keep going at it with each other.
And we certainly won't answer any of the questions that we have right now.
Exactly. Look, I'll tone down my crazy if you tone down your crazy. Deal?
Deal.
Thank you.
But it would make me worry less if you followed our rule.
Our rule?
What's the one rule that we agreed to stick to?
Willow shrugs.
You know the rule. Come on, what's our one rule?
It's stupid.
It is not.
It's not even our rule, it's just yours. You tell me to follow it and I decide whether I feel like it or not.
Well, it's important and it's what will keep us safe. Besides, you agreed to it. So I'll ask one more time. What's our one rule?
Stay quiet and stay together.
That's right. Stay quiet and stay together. You agreed and we've got to stick to it.
You know, it's not even one rule. Really, it's more like two rules. You're just putting two together and calling it one. Stay quiet and stay together. It's two rules, not one.
Does it really matter?
All I'm saying is that you can't say it's one rule when it's really two. Two rules, not one.
Okay, fine. Just follow our two rules, okay? Stay quiet, stay together. Can you do that for me?
Why does staying together even need to be a part of it? It's not like I can leave. Been locked up in here since we woke up.
Shh, come on. What did we just talk about?
I don't know. My memory is a little fuzzy.
The rules. Remember, stay quiet, stay together.
Oh, yeah. You're not doing a really good job of following them, are you?
Finn begins to charge at Willow.
Why, I oughta.
Hey, I was just kidding. Relax. The rules, I remember. Yay.
Thank you. So you'll follow the rule and you won't give me such a hard time?
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe I'll follow the rule.
Just maybe?
Yeah, I'm feeling very maybe this evening.
Jeez, it's like we're making no progress here.
Well, maybe there's something you can do, you know, to make me change my mind.
What do you want?
Do you know what I want?
No, I don't. I don't base my life on any assumptions.
What about predictions? You know me, and you know how I act, so you know that I want to...
But that's still on the same plane, you know? I mean, what's the difference? If it's all based on a stereotype that I have of you in my head, what's the difference?
Would you just shut up already with all your theories and principles? I just want to play a game. You know I want to play a game, so let's just play a game, and then I'll be quiet, and I'll stay together, I promise.
Okay, fine. Fine, don't get all worked up over nothing. What do you want to play?
Something happy and cool, like the moon.
And the stars?
What about astronauts? Let's play astronauts.
Do we have to play pretend? Isn't reality good enough for you?
Not even close.
All right, fine. We can play astronauts, but only if you're quiet, okay?
Agreed. And besides, space is a lot prettier than this dumpy old room. A nice change of scenery would do us wonders. Breathe in some of that fresh space oxygen.
There's no air in space.
Right. So, shall we put on our suits?
Finn nods to Willow. Willow and Finn pretend to hold imaginary helmets next to their face with their hands. Willow is pretending to float around the room, and Finn does the same. They are playing astronauts.
Hello?
Willow disapproves, then demonstrates.
Come in. Over.
Roger, roger.
You've got to say over when you're done talking. Over.
Why? I don't like that word. Or just like the idea of saying it out loud.
Thinks for a second, then remembers and...
You have to say over.
A ship horn blares 3 times. Realizing their mistake and composing themselves.
It's over. You have to say over only. Over. Just please say over.
I'm sorry, I just don't like saying it, and I promise I forgot before. Over.
It's the rules of space, and you've got to follow them or you'll never be a respected astronaut. A real Armstrong. Over.
The starlights flicker, slightly brighter than before, and make a quick, low whirring sound before dying out, still unnoticed by Willow and Finn.
Well, I'll try.
Realizing they have already messed up and fixing the error.
I'll try. Over.
Pause.
But why can't I just say something else, though, instead? Like, something that lasts instead of something that's past. What about something like forever instead? That has a nice ring to it. Forever.
Pause. Willow does not respond. Awkward. Finally and begrudgingly.
Over.
You don't seem to get it, do you? I don't make the rules up, I just follow them. You can say over or you can say over and out. That's it. Those are your only 2 options. Nothing else. Nothing. Over.
I'm just saying it might be nice to say something else. I mean, like, what's so wrong with forever? Is it because it doesn't sound exactly like over? Because I could say, like, for over or something instead, if that makes you feel better. For over.
It's just, you're messing with top-level stuff here. These astronauts put their lives on the line and create a simple methodology for communicating to ensure their survival. And you can't just seem to wrap your head around the respect it deserves. You can't just follow the rules, can you? Can you? Over.
Yes.
Over.
Yes. Yes, I can. Yes, I can, but why can't I say for over?
Why do you want to kill us? Why are you trying to kill us? We're as good as dead without the rules. Over.
I refuse. I refuse to or say over or talk to you. I refuse. I will not play by those stupid rules if I can't accentuate them by adding a few of my own. For over.
You know what? No. I'm done. I don't want to play with you if you're just going to keep being a bad astronaut on purpose. Before we started, you told me that I had to follow the rules of the game, and now you can't even do that yourself? I'm not playing astronaut when there's an alien like you running around, continuing to ruin and destroy my game. Over.
Slight pause.
Over and out.
Willow lies down and turns away from Finn, closing their eyes. Finn contemplates, does not know what to do. After a while, a slight panic runs through Finn, growing in intensity with each response that Willow ignores.
I'm sorry. It's just, I think that there's better ways to do things. Some things. And, I felt like I should be able to say what I want to say, but I'm sorry, okay? I'll follow the rules. I want to play astronauts with you.
Willow does not respond. Louder.
Hello? This is important to me. Please answer me.
Willow does not respond. Louder.
Hello? This isn't just your game, it's mine too.
Willow does not respond. Louder.
Hello? Why won't you answer me?
Willow does not respond. Louder and now shaking Willow.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Willow does not respond. Finn is overwhelmed and at a breaking point. Finn drops Willow back to the ground and starts to run around the space, screaming with slight pauses in between each. Finn picks up the bucket and places it over their head. Finn continues screaming and starts to beat the bucket with their hands. Finn crumples to the floor and starts to beat their head against the closet surface, continuing to scream. Finally, Finn wears down and curls into a cradled ball, whimpering audibly.
Would you just run out of battery already? I told you I'm done, okay? I'm not playing any games anymore, especially not if you're gonna get like this. Everything's fine. We're all still here. Why don't you just shut up and take off your helmet so you can breathe in some of that stuffy closet air before you choke to death on your own words?
Finn removes the bucket from their head and puts it down next to them.
Oh, I'm just sorry, okay? Sorry, I didn't mean to cause such a ruckus. It's just, I couldn't get through to you or anything else.
It's fine. It's all in the past, lost in the clutter of rules that dictate our universe.
The rules of the universe. Oof, heavy.
Well, it's just, who says the sky's the limit? What a stupid thing to say, when there's obviously so much more out there. Right beyond the edges of our atmosphere lies an infinite field of space. Unexplored cosmos and planets and stars that span millions of billions of miles all across our universe. I mean, compared to that, the sky seems pretty small. And if the sky is pretty small, then we're about as big and significant as little ants carrying grains of sand. Bigger than we could ever hope to be.
Are you seeing all of this? Your eyes are closed.
I'm daydreaming. But I guess I'm night dreaming since it's night. I'm still awake though, so maybe it's daydreaming at night actually? Daydreaming? Something like that.
Well, don't let the cat hold your tongue forever. What kind of things can you see? What are you looking at right now?
Well, I definitely don't see any cats.
Willow sticks out their tongue and touches it.
And my tongue still seems to be right where I left it.
Wonderful news, and I'm so happy for you. I am, but what do you see?
I'm looking at the moon. I see it. I see the moon. It may not eat, but I can tell when it's full. It's spectacular.
Wow, your mind is something else. Can you see anything else?
Like what?
What about home? Or anything from before? I don't remember it, but maybe the moon does. It was there. Is the moon saying anything?
I hear it. I hear something.
What? What is it saying?
The moon says that everything will soon breathe as one. The fish and the flowers will all come together, and the light of yesterday will be swallowed in the process. The moon can see it all. The balance of fortunes will soon shift, and everything will float upwards.
What does that even mean? Where are you getting all this?
I don't know. I just see it, and I know what I heard. The moon. It told me.
Well, okay. What else do you see?
All of the skies, all the stars in the sky surrounding the earth and moon and the sun, all over space. They're humming, but very quietly. It's so soothing. They look like bright and shining pebbles in a blanket of darkness. Or like raindrops glistening in a window. I wish you could see it. Don't you remember how beautiful it all is? How amazing it used to be looking up at the sky at night?
I wish I could see them like you, but maybe the fact that you can means that they're still there watching over us. Right now. That we're exactly where we're meant to be in our journey. Not leaving where we were, but coming to where we're going.
I really wish you had a view of the sky from here.
I would stare at those stars all night if I ever had the chance. Maybe I'll have to grow an imagination, like you, and hold on to that beautiful dream for as long as I can.
And what do you know about beauty?
Are you saying that I'm not beautiful?
Winks with a pose.
Hardly. No more beautiful than the rats crawling around the ship. Or the growling of my stomach after eating one.
Okay, well, even if I'm not beautiful, which I am, but if I wasn't, I've still seen true beauty before. And to see beauty is to behold beauty. You eat the rats.
Eat or be eaten, my friend. The cycle of life isn't as beautiful as it's always made out to be.
But beauty does exist, in between all of the pockets of what we like to call the ugly, ugly truth.
Like what?
Just earlier, remember looking out at the sky? You were just telling me about how beautiful it all was. All the stars, the atmosphere, bright little pebbles, right?
I remember what I saw, and I told you all about it, but what did you see?
What did I see? I told you I couldn't see anything that you could.
What do you remember about before? About when we used to look at the night sky? You never told me that. You never tell me what you remember.
You already saw it, so why do I need to repaint the picture?
I know what I saw, but what did you see? What did you feel?
Why is that important?
How else are we ever going to remember or figure out how we got here?
It's gone. It doesn't matter.
What's going on with you?
Pause.
Well,
It's just
it's just what?
I don't actually remember.
So you were lying to me?
Well, it's just that
A fib is a fib, no doubt about it.
I wasn't trying to.
I thought we nipped all of our lying right in the butt, but I guess beggars can't be choosers. You must feel.
Stop. Okay, just stop. Stop already. I hate when you remember something and I can't. Okay, I'm sorry, but I want to remember too. I want to remember smiles or love or home, happiness, or literally anything from before, and I never can. I have to imagine or picture or hope or something about what our past was, and whenever you remember things, it crushes me. It squashes me into nothing because you have a portal to see things the way they were. You get a keepsake, a path to always go back home, and I have nothing. Not even a little sliver to hold on to. I won't ever know what it feels like.
You've got me.
Willow runs over to Finn and embraces them.
You're not mad?
How could I be mad? You deserve to remember just as much as I do, and there isn't a single person in the entire world who doesn't deserve to see the moon.
I just wanted to... You're right.
How about a change of pace?
For once, I actually wanted to be you.
For once?
I just wish I knew how.
Maybe I do.
How?
Close your eyes and take my hands.
Why?
Afraid you'll want to be me again?
Hardly. It's just...
Just what?
It's... nothing. It's all turned to nothing. Here, just take my hands.
Thank you.
So what are you going to do?
I think I know how to show you the past. Or at least the moon.
But how? How do you know this is going to work?
I just know.
Who put you in charge?
I'm Captain Color, remember?
All right, fine. Go on, work your magic.
I always say it's better to try and fail than to never know what could have been.
I thought I always said that.
I learned from the best. All right, now close your eyes.
Wait. I need music to put me in the mood.
Mood music.
Get the radio.
Willow retrieves the radio and turns the dial. Beautiful and swanky beatbox music that progressively becomes lighter in volume plays.
How's that?
Perfect.
Now close your eyes and stop bouncing up and down.
Finn stops bouncing and closes their eyes. Willow takes Finn's hand.
Sorry. Now, what do I do?
Don't do anything. Just think and see. See everything out in front of you. Do you see anything?
I'm trying. It's all so blurry, though.
Really concentrate. Visualize the moon towering over you, watching, protecting, utter magnificence.
Suddenly, a bright light flashes and the starlights all light up, illuminating the ceiling of the space. A low whirring sound is heard. Finn opens their eyes.
I can see it. I remember them.
Isn't it beautiful?
It is. It's stunning. We haven't seen the moon for the last time. I just know it.
So tell me about what you see, so you can hold on to that. So we both can, at least until we get to see it all again.
As Finn begins talking, the supply shelf slowly moves to the side to reveal a light that has slowly started to shine through a porthole that was hidden behind the shelf, until a narrow but discernible golden glow illuminates the room, slowly at first but gaining confidence and excitement throughout.
Well, okay, fine. I saw a crescent of possibility drawing me in with its radiance. Its metallic glow melted my inner soul into a single ball of energy. I felt the waves lift me off the ship, and I let the breeze cruise me closer until I was finally swimming through a sea of fireflies. The stars glided with the shadows of their past, echoing the life that they left behind them, and for a moment everything came to a halt. I finally saw something that had never been a secret at all, just something that was present. I remained too distracted, too unaware to see it until now, but I could finally see everything. I was no longer a subject. I was content. I was me. There was a new light watching over me, and I still feel it now. Close your eyes. Do you see it too? It was truly beautiful.
Willow closes their eyes. Finn starts to cry.
I think you've got a bigger imagination than me.
The starlights power off with a flicker quite abruptly as Finn opens their eyes. Willow also opens their eyes.
Are you crying?
No. Well, yes, but these tears are from feelings of freedom, of love, to life's contentment.
You read too much. No one actually talks like that in real life.
Willow turns the dial of the radio and the music is turned off. Willow returns the radio to the shelf.
Maybe they should. Accentuate the world with a little color before there's none left to enjoy.
All right, corny pants.
You're wearing the same pair as me. And I don't know why my pants have anything to do with the way I speak.
The way you speak is fine.
So then what's the problem? I think my vocabulary is just fine.
It's fine if you have a decent vocabulary. You just don't need to be so pretentious with it.
Pretentious?
Pretentious.
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 I'm being pretentious.
A little bit.
You think I'm being pretentious?
When was the last time you cleaned your ears out? Yes, I think you're being pretentious.
You better watch it. My words mean the world to me, and I don't appreciate what you're trying to say about them.
I get it. Your words are who you are. They're yours and no one else's, but that's exactly why you should keep them to yourself. Because when you talk like that, your words aren't words. They become more of a product.
What do you mean? Words make sentences, which are products in a sort of mathematical sense, but I don't really see your point.
In your case, think about it more like art, like music. You've got a beautiful song playing in your head, maybe an orchestra, some jazz. You know what? Maybe even some crazy combination of both. Boom, you get this crazy thought. You want the world to hear it. Why wouldn't you? So you blare your music out on full volume so that everyone can hear it.
So, but what if it's a good song? What if people like it?
There will always be people that like your song, maybe even a ton. But eventually they'll get tired and they'll leave just as quickly unless you make another. But at that point, are you making your songs for yourself anymore? And you've completely isolated everyone else. Maybe they like country or metal, and only the ghosts that haunt them know why they do, but they do. And it's possible that they don't want to hear your music.
But if there's no willingness on their end to listen to my music, why do I need to listen to theirs?
The recognition of others and their worth is what you're missing. Maybe they don't like your music, but they know you exist. All you do is sit atop your cloud and just listen to yourself. mesmerized by all of the attention that you're able to produce. It's not music to you anymore, it's a transaction. In a sense, you've created a language that only you and people like you understand. There's a system that everyone is a part of, whether they like it or not. And you shouldn't go acting like you're too good for it. Because the people who work and who matter aren't. People like us.
I guess you make a fair point or whatever. I just never thought about it like that.
I know. And I'm sorry if I was a little pretentious.
Really? You know, the thought never even crossed my mind.
But you get it, right? I've got enough courage to tell you, but most people wouldn't even dare. They'd lie right to your face if you asked them, because that's common courtesy.
Look, I'll do my best to refrain from talking like that, out loud, but my whole view on it is different. The words I use just have a beauty about the way that they can be shaped into beautiful sculptures like poetry. Just think about it. How many words combine together to create a story, even just an answer to a question? I see flowing rivers of meaning with the infinite possibility of becoming anything. Sure, they're a product, but they have my life and my energy living within them all.
Willow lists these gross words as Finn awkwardly interjects.
What about diarrhea? I
I
said, what about diarrhea?
well,
Or vomit, or mucus?
what are
Oh, slurp? What about maggots? Or
okay?
phlegm, splooge, squirt?
Okay, I get it.
The worst one, though, the worst one of all has to be drip.
Dip? You think the worst word in the entire world is dip? Come on, give me a break.
Not dip, drip. Like drip, drop, drip, drop, drip, drop.
Like rain? What's wrong with that? Just a little drip.
Finn pretends to flick water at Willow.
Or a drop.
It's gotta be the most disgusting word that's ever been created, or at least in the top 2 or 3. Your skin doesn't crawl when you hear it? Just listen. Drip. Drip. Drip.
Drop it, okay? No, the word doesn't creep or crawl. For me, it just is.
Well, I think that's absolutely appalling. How could you even say something like that?
What, that I'm unaffected by the word drip? Or the fact that you won't drip it?
Drop it.
Just stop already.
But it's like, I don't even know who you are anymore.
Well, maybe drip is like a product, like the ones you mentioned earlier. Maybe drip isn't everyone's first choice. You know, it's completely possible that some country cowboy feels differently than you do. Different words mean different things to different people.
All right, I get your point, stupid face.
And there you go again, just proving my point in a classic snarky fashion.
What do you mean?
You keep going on and on about how drip is the worst word in the entire world, but then you're out here calling me mean names like stupid face and not even acknowledging the fact that there are words that hurt others.
Wow, someone's a little sensitive.
I'm asking you about all of the horrible, despicable words that some people use every single day. Those words hold so much more weight. Those words are so terrible, I can't even say them. I'll wash your mouth out with soap if I ever hear you say one of those words.
You know what? Fine, I take it back. Drip isn't the most disgusting word in the world. Not even close. But how do we fight against the words that are? How does the spirit behind a movement like that even exist?
It's all based on nothing more than a shell. But the soul, the working soul of a person means just as much. Their stories aren't important, just their suffering. The people that use those words can't see the real beauty in anything because they don't see it in everything.
It sucks.
You're right. It sucks. It really, really sucks.
What doesn't suck, though? The world is full of things that suck, but we can't sulk in our own sorrow and just watch everything else suck. Sucks to suck, but we've got to suck it up and stand strong.
Or we won't live very long.
With that attitude, you bet.
If there's so much darkness operating the world, how can there ever be any light? How do we keep it from being consumed? Where's the beauty if we can't see? The beauty within us all suddenly vanishes.
Why do you think they always say being perfect is imperfect? Because there's no adventure, no struggle in a world that doesn't make you fight to be who you are and stand up for what you believe in.
There can be no happiness without sadness, no beauty without repulsion.
B.
You know what? You're right. I think there is a little beauty in everything. Even death.
Willow pulls a dead rat from the piping next to them and holds it to Finn's face. Finn screams and quickly puts their hands over their mouth. Finn punches Willow in the arm and Willow drops the rat. It scurries away.
Huh. Guess it wasn't dead.
What the heck? That thing could have bit me or something, and worse, I just screamed like really loudly. We've got to be more careful. But it was funny and I needed it, so thank you.
I know. And you're welcome, my fine fellow.
Please don't pull any more stunts like that.
Why?
What happened to our rule? We've got to stay quiet until we figure out a plan to get out of here.
I am who I am, and I couldn't be anything else if I tried.
We have no idea what's behind that door waiting for us, or if there's anyone watching or listening. Do you really want to test that? See what happens. Be my guest.
You know I wouldn't do that.
All I'm saying is, what if we're somewhere we shouldn't be, doing things we shouldn't?
The world is full of people who are doing things they shouldn't in places they shouldn't be. But we didn't have a choice. We were just put here. And if we weren't, we have no memory of it. Maybe we're just people who are doing something.
I just feel like I'm a prisoner. You know, the kind that has to crush the stones? They're always sweating, lugging that big, heavy ball behind them. I feel so trapped in this tiny little room, but I'm also so afraid of what's out there.
We've been fine up until now, and we will be as long as we believe we will. Okay? No one's a prisoner. Not yet. Everything is going to be fine.
As long as we follow our rules?
As long as we follow our rules. Whatever you say.
As long as we follow our rules.
Watch enters hurriedly into the locked closet door. After a few calls, they bang on the closet door in a worried panic.
Hello? Hello? Is anybody there? I heard a scream. Hello?
Pause, listen, then.
What do we do?
Hello? I must ensure that everyone is safe and accounted for. I'm required to let you know that I can't open the door without your permission. Hello?
I don't know.
I said I'm required to let you know that I can't open the door without your permission.
We can't escape,
There's only one way out.
and only one way in.
Maybe we don't have to give permission.
Hello?
What do we do?
Just stay quiet. There's no proof that anyone's actually in here.
Is that whispering? Hello?
I told you to be quiet.
It was.
I know someone's in there. Please, just let me in. Hello? I've got to keep banging on the door until you answer me, and I don't really want to call my captain, especially at this hour. Hello? If you don't answer, you're not really giving me any other choice. Please, just open the door.
Willow and Finn, by what is going on, decide to try to move the supply shelf to block the door. The shelf is heavy, but they move it slightly and reveal the porthole, which has a bright light shining in front of the outside that blinds the both of them. Finally, they realize that moving the supply shelf is fruitless, and that Watch is still behind the door and about to call their captain. Watch bangs on the door again.
All right, you've got until the count of 5 before I make the call. I'm going to call my counting as soon as the counting's up. 1,
What do we do?
2, 3,
What else can we do? Just follow my lead.
4,
A ship horn blares 3 times.
5.
You may enter.
Finn follows Willow to the door. Watch enters and meets Finn and Willow near the entrance. The light shining through the porthole turns off suddenly, and nothing but darkness can be seen outside.
Good evening, and how very, very nice to meet you. How might we help you at this very, very late hour?
You want to help? Well, why don't you start with some answers?
If only we had some.
What was that?
Nothing.
Why didn't you answer the door?
But we did.
I just meant that it took a while.
Time is of the essence, is it not?
I suppose.
And what pleasure do we owe to you for this surprise visit?
I heard screaming coming from this room and came to make sure everything is okay. Is everything okay?
Pause.
Screaming?
A noise. Something. Something that sounded like a scream to me, and it came from this very closet. Is everything okay?
This is a closet?
Used to be. It was converted into a cabin to use for the voyage. Needed to spare as much room as we could, but I believe I asked about the screaming. Did you hear any or not?
Screaming. I didn't hear any screaming. Did you hear any screaming?
Nope, I heard absolutely nothing, just the beating of my own heart.
See, no screaming here. We're all good, so if you'll just excuse us.
Willow and Finn start to gesture and guide Watch towards the exit.
You'll be excused as soon as I've completed the necessary protocol.
Protocol?
It shouldn't take that long at all. Just a few questions I'm required to ask all of our passengers during a routine alarm response check-in. Nothing to worry about at all.
Like we already said, there's really nothing wrong here, so that won't be necessary.
It's called a necessary protocol for a reason. It means it's kind of necessary that I do. Now I insist that you allow me to proceed.
Fine. We'll answer your questions, but only if you answer ours.
Alright. I can't promise I'll be able to answer everything, but I'll try to give you all the information I'm allowed to share with you, as long as it means I can get out of here and finish up my rounds.
We already said you could leave.
The door's right there, and look, it's already open.
And I really wish I could, but I can't. I'm sorry, but I go by the rules, and the rules say that I have to stick to protocol. You'll learn quickly that everything follows the rules here. So, do we have a deal?
Well, it's not like we really have a choice, am I right?
Willow slaps Finn's arm.
But we don't, sorry.
I guess it sounds like we have a deal.
Perfect.
But we get to ask you the first question.
How is that fair?
It isn't, but neither are we.
I'm intrigued. Typically, I suggest a coin toss or something of equal chance. But I guess I can allow you to go first. I like your spirit, and there's nothing to lose. Right?
Right.
Go ahead. You both may begin the game whenever you're ready.
Willow and Finn turn to themselves and talk to each other quietly.
Well, what should we ask first?
Maybe finding out where we are would be a good start?
Good point. Where are we would be a great first question.
We are currently aboard the USS Legacy, just to answer your question.
Oh, so you like to listen into conversations that you aren't a part of?
Well, I enjoy listening and always try to be focused on what's being said during conversations that I am a part of. I simply just assume that I am a part of the conversation until the other party has excused themselves from the social obligation. Pardon me if you do, but I didn't hear either of you excuse yourselves, so I just assumed that we were still having a conversation.
Well, you know what happens when you assume you make good.
Amazing guess. That statistically has a 50% chance of being right. Although I might say expected the next time you're assuming out loud.
I'll be sure to keep that in mind for the future. Now, if you don't mind, may we proceed with the game?
I suppose.
Finn slaps Willow in the arm.
Sure. Fine. We suppose.
Wonderful. I do appreciate your cooperation. I'll start with an ice-breaking question to warm us all up. A real doozy. What is your favorite color?
What did you just ask us?
Ooh, this is fun, isn't it?
How did you know that we couldn't remember any colors?
Excuse me?
Is purple a color?
What are you talking about?
Tell me what you know.
Willow has slowly inched towards Watch and is too close for comfort. Finn finally reels Willow in.
Hey, relax, remember? Our one rule, follow our rule and we'll be solid, okay?
Good advice.
What?
You should listen.
Willow releases a frustrated grunt.
Why,
Excuse us, please.
Certainly.
Finn pulls Willow aside.
Hey, you can't just fly off the handle like that. What happened to laying low and making decisions together? We don't need anyone else coming in or being called in because we attacked the person that's already in here.
Okay. I get it. You're right, okay? But how do we get the answers that we want?
We follow the rules. All right?
It's that simple?
Just play the game.
Like we always do.
Just the same. Agreed?
Agreed.
Willow and Finn walk back to watch.
Our favorite color is gray.
Oh, excuse me. Were you talking to me?
Yes? Who else would I be talking to?
I apologize. I didn't realize that our conversation had continued since you didn't reinitiate the dialogue with a greeting or salutation.
A salutation? What kind of...
Hello! We welcome you with our humblest of greetings and hope we can continue our incredibly fun game of questions with you. I said, welcome!
Finn swats Willow on the arm.
Yes. Hello. Welcome.
Willow bows ridiculously, followed by another swat on the arm from Finn.
Well, hello and greetings to the both of you as well. I would be happy to oblige and continue our game of questions.
Watch bows to Finn and Willow regally. Willow shoots Finn a look.
Great.
I'm so glad to see that your spirits have turned. I love seeing others just show as much enthusiasm about something as I do.
We just want to cooperate to the best of our abilities, happily and wholeheartedly.
Well, do know that I appreciate it tremendously. So, gray?
It's our favorite color. What can we say?
It's just interesting. It's not really the first color I would think of, but I like it. Very unique.
Well, what's your favorite color?
Is that your question for this round?
Wait, I mean...
No, it's...
I'm just joshing with you. I'll give you that one for free. Who knows? Maybe I'll add a little color in your life. It's purple. My favorite color is purple.
What's purple?
My favorite color.
So it is a color.
What was that?
So, Pulper is your favorite color.
Purple. It's purple.
Excuse me, purple. How interesting. Some might even say intriguing. A very unique color to like indeed.
I think so too. Now for your real question.
Excuse us.
Finn and Willow turn towards each other and quickly and quietly whisper before turning back.
Hello again.
Greetings to you too.
So, we want to know how we got here.
Is that a question?
Fine. How did we get here?
A very good question. And how indeed?
That's exactly why I'm asking you.
Why, you won the lottery, of course. Don't you remember? You're both very, very lucky ducks. Slipped through a quack in the system.
Watch chuckles.
Of course we remember, but you said we could ask you whatever we wanted. Don't you remember? Oh, and was that your question for the round?
Only if that was yours.
Pause.
So whose turn is it? Because I'm like actually really confused at this point.
Why don't you all go ahead? My treat.
Finn gives a smug look and nod to Willow.
How very nice of you.
We appreciate it immensely, kind fellow.
So our question is a simple one. Where are we going? Or maybe better phrased as, where is this ship's destination?
Another good one. But unfortunately, this is where our shriek has to come to an end. I am currently not at liberty to answer that question. At least, not yet.
You can't answer our question?
I wish I could, and I do apologize for the inconvenience. But back to the game. So for my question,
Yeah, I'm sure you're very sorry.
Wait. Why can't you answer our question?
Because I can't. Now, I believe it's actually my turn to ask the question.
So we won the lottery to get on board, and we don't even get to know where we're going.
I'm afraid not. Not even the paying passengers know at the moment.
That doesn't seem very fair to me. Does it?
Well,
Does it?
it is.
Does it?
By now, Willow has caught on to what Finn is doing and joins in. Watch grows angrier and more tense as the rules of the game deteriorate.
Does it?
Does it? Does it? Does it?
I believe that.
It's not fair. Not fair at all. Do you think it's fair?
How could it be? There's no fairness in sight.
None at all. This isn't fair. Not fair, not fair, not fair.
Not fair, not fair, not fair.
Not fair, not fair, not fair.
I think it's very fair that the both of you won spots on the only ship headed north and away from the flooding in your housing sector. There is currently no precise destination because we are dealing with the very inclement weather, which poses a possible change in our destination depending on how much our course is altered. As soon as we've confirmed our destination, it'll be announced over the ship's intercom for everyone to hear. Does that answer more to your liking?
It certainly is.
Well then, I believe it is finally my turn to ask a question. I've been far too compliant in allowing you to bend the rules, and I must begin the necessary protocol. I'm all about having fun, but I must also do my job, so I'll give you one last chance, and I'll ask you one last time. Will you play the game and follow all the rules that have been put forth?
We completely apologize. We promise we'll follow all of the rules and that we won't give you any more trouble. In fact, we'll even give you 2 questions for all of the trouble we've caused, as a form of an apology.
I do suggest using your questions more wisely, though, and being more careful about what you ask.
You never know what could be a question.
Or an answer.
Very well. I'll heed your advice and march on with caution. So earlier, you told me that you hadn't heard any scream. The sounds that I heard were the very thing that prompted me to come to your room in the first place. Once I started banging on the door, it took you to almost to the count of 5 after I threatened to call my captain on you to answer the door. Since you both maintain that you heard no screaming, I would like to ask what you both were doing before I started knocking on the door.
Well, that's an easy one. We had just been playing astronauts, and...
So you're playing astronauts. Amusing.
Well, not exactly.
It's not exactly playing, you see. It's
more like a simulation training. We were training, just completing all of our daily routine astronaut exercises. You know, just some basic scenarios that we put ourselves through to gauge our preparedness for possible real life action.
That's obviously what I meant.
So, it wasn't a game then.
It's so natural. It feels like a game to us at this point.
And fun. You can't forget fun.
Exactly.
So you are astronauts. Quite interesting indeed. Please, continue with your story. I'm quite eager to hear more.
Well, we finished our training, nothing that you'd really be familiar with, and then we
were so tired. We just went to sleep. We went right to sleep.
We were very sleepy.
Very, very tired.
And the next thing we know, you're just banging on our door. Pretty scary if you ask me.
I was terrified.
I saw it with my own eyes.
Okay. So maybe I can buy that you both were asleep when I came banging on your door, but now you're also saying that you're astronauts. Something isn't adding up here. Prove it. Where are your spacesuits?
What a wise question. Where are the spacesuits?
Really, I was?
Really, you were.
Really?
Really.
Willow gestures towards Finn to answer the question.
Well, you see, really, we just haven't gotten them yet. Yeah, haven't gotten them yet.
Right, we still haven't gotten them yet because they're already waiting for us at the space station.
Right. Once we finally get there, the suits will be waiting for us.
So you're the astronauts.
E.
What?
I said, so you're the astronauts.
So, you've heard about us?
So, you've heard about us.
Well, the captain did say we'd be having some spacewalkers on board our crew for their trip up. But I thought they'd be a little bit older. And a lot less weird.
Thanks. We never get that.
I mean, a bunch of spacewalkers, you expect a little quirkiness here and there, but you guys are a whole brand of breaking expectations.
Again, thanks. So,
since you say who you say you are, I suppose you won't mind me inspecting your room. We've been monitoring periodic power outages in this area of the ship, and I'm checking on each room to make sure that none of the circuits in your power breaker has caused a shortage in the system. It should really only take a second.
no!
Well, normally we wouldn't, but,
I understand the inconvenience, but because your room was converted from a closet, the potential for an outage is much higher than in most cases.
I think we'll be okay.
It'll be a safety hazard if I didn't check it.
Well, we really don't.
Please, I must insist.
And why are you being so insistent?
It's a matter of safety and concern.
Why are you so concerned about it all of a sudden? You've been here for quite a while and you're only mentioning the possibility of danger now.
With such high potential for danger, I came here to make sure that you all were safe from any possible electrical threats.
I thought you came here because you heard screaming.
I thought you just needed to complete your necessary protocol.
Are you lying to us?
Because your story seems like it's changing to me.
Initially, I came because of the screaming I heard, but your room also happened to be on my list of units to check for shortages. Because I'm already here and the risk is so high, I figured that I might as well complete your room and protect you from any danger. Some might say I'm trying to kill two birds with one stone. Now, if you'll excuse me,
What about our contract?
Contract?
The agreement that we signed prior to boarding prohibits any inspections if we so choose. We're under no obligation to permit entry and can even deny it under any of the long list of pretenses included when we signed it. You can call the captain and we can settle this dispute legislatively, but seeing as that probably wouldn't end up very well for you.
And we'd be happy to share about all of the wonderful rules I'm sure you've broken. Like banging on the door and shouting threats at us. I believe that you, out of all of us here, are in the wrong. And honestly, I was some sort of explanation for all of this.
Frankly, it's late and we're tired. We want to go back to sleep and we really don't want to be bothered by you and your shenanigans any longer.
I suppose an explanation could be in order, and I'd be happy to give you one as soon as I completed checking your power breaker. There'll be a little exchange between us. My explanation for a single minute in your room, and I'll be out of your hair. I do promise that it'll only take 1 minute, less even. Again, I do apologize for bothering you. I just want to work this out.
Why should we?
A wise question indeed. Well, if you don't take my offer, I'll have to escort the both of you straight to my captain and approach you both for reckless endangerment. You can try any of your bits about your fake contract, but I'll just refute whatever you say.
The captain might believe us. I mean, you're just a watch, and whatever happened to the customer always being right?
Based on my level of command and the relationship I have with the captain, it'd be foolish to believe that the captain would trust what you have to say over me.
You'd really do that?
I'm a person of my word, so my offer still stands. But if you don't take it now, it'll vanish like the wind along with your honor. I really don't want to exaggerate any of what happened here tonight in my briefing report to HQ. Believe me, I really don't.
Finn and Willow look at each other sternly and scowl. Finally, they nod to Watch.
Fine. It's not like we really have a choice.
Watch steps forward to scan the room, as if not knowing where the power breaker is located.
Well, it was the right one, and I respect you both for your wise decision. Like I said, this should just take 1 minute. That's all, just 1 minute.
We already heard you.
Watch, pretending to finally have found the power breaker, begins to tinker with it.
Ah, here it is.
1 minute, right?
1 minute, I guarantee it.
Watch puts the clipboard down and begins tinkering with the power breaker using various tools and a flashlight from their pockets and belt.
Why don't you make yourself more efficient and give us that explanation while you're working on our power box thing?
A splendid idea. Where should I begin?
How about right before you felt the undying desire to pound on our door?
Right. A perfect place to begin. I was making my post-curfew rounds to check that all the passengers were in their cabins and accounted for, while also inspecting the power breakers of the cabins that were listed as a potential for high risk. Since we locked the doors after curfew for safety precautions, I was going door to door to make sure that nothing was out of the ordinary. I was getting close to the end of a hallway near here when I heard a scream, or at least what I thought was a scream, come from this room. As soon as I heard it, I came running to check and make sure everything was okay. Maybe banging on the door was a tad bit aggressive, but I just wanted to make sure everything was okay. I do apologize for scaring the both of you. I hope I didn't cause too much panic. All done.
Watch puts their tools back into their various places and picks up the clipboard.
What a great story.
And only 1 minute long.
So is something wrong with our power baker or whatever you called it?
It appears that there was a short circuit and the battery was in charge of it. Should all be fixed now.
Thanks. We really appreciate it. Well, it's been real swell, but I think it's time for you to...
Just one more thing. You said you were sleeping when you were woken up by my knocking.
Yeah.
We both were.
Oh, excuse me. You both were woken up by the banging of the door. That's what you said just now, but I just can't shake it out of my head. The sound, the scream I heard was undeniable. I know I heard it. I heard it with these very ears.
I'm sad to say that I really couldn't tell you.
We already told you we didn't hear any screams.
From our room or any around ours. We were asleep.
Pause.
There's really nothing that you can think that it might have been?
Pause.
Nothing at all?
Pause.
I mean, the only thing I can think of that it might have been is my night terrors.
Your what?
My night terrors.
Oh, yes. The terrors of the night. I had completely forgotten about them.
Forgotten? How does one forget about such a loud and living presence?
Well, I've gotten used to sleeping through them, I guess. Terrors of the night can be loud, but I've trained myself just to stay asleep through the screaming. Maybe you had an episode.
I suppose it's all possible.
That must be it then.
I must have had an episode and neither of us even realized it.
I guess we slept through it.
Sorry for causing such a fuss. Apologize for making a fuss.
But they weren't my terrors.
I don't care. Just say you're sorry.
I'm sorry for your night terrors.
I appreciate your apology. Just one more thing. When precisely did you wake up? Because I could have sworn I heard whisperings on the other side of this door as soon as I started threatening to call my captain.
Pause.
If I'm being honest, we thought our lives were at stake.
We were all disoriented from waking up, and all we heard was screaming and banging coming from behind the door.
We thought you were a robber or a mercenary or something trying to get us. Trying to kill us.
We figured that you'd be able to get to us eventually, so we surrendered willingly. We didn't want to face the wrath of whatever backup a vicious rogue might be calling.
But of course, we were glad to open the door to such a friendly face. One who seems to have become a little too friendly.
And figure out that this was all just a misunderstanding.
Right. Well, in any case, I would limit your tomfoolery on the simple basis that these little misunderstandings are much more dangerous than you may realize.
Pause. Watch reads their notepad.
We'll be shifting into an aerial launch position and taking off shortly, so please stay quiet and in your room. We don't want the other passengers to hear you and wake up. I'm under strict instructions to make sure that all clients stay inside their room and don't break their induced slumber. Because you're technically crew members, you may remain awake or go back to sleep and will be notified by the loud, repetitive alarm as soon as we've landed. You are to report to your signpost, which looks to be Unit A0207 for all astronauts. As soon as astronauts are called for, we'll need you both to help with landing preparations, as well as with the rehoming of all the passengers on board. After all preparations have been made, a second loud alarm will go off, indicating that the passengers have been woken up and are preparing to exit the vessel. We have to brace ourselves for the worst and accommodate the passengers to the highest level that we can. It's going to be a long few days, so get some rest if you can. But please, let me know if you need anything at all.
During the previous speech, Willow identifies Watch's notepad and suggests that they swipe it. After slight deliberation, they agree. Willow leads the charge.
Actually, before you go, could you give us a hand with this supply shelf? The light from outside has been coming through this porthole and doing nothing but wake us up.
Well,
Don't say it if you don't mean it.
We tried before, but my strength lives more inside my head. Maybe you could give it a try?
You can probably help me get it moved in no time.
you want my help moving a supply shelf.
That's all we want, and then we'll be out of your hair.
Out of your world. You won't hear from us again, and you'll finally be free to finish your rounds.
It would just be nice, since light has been scientifically proven to make night terrors louder and more likely.
I suppose. Fine, I'll help. But really, that's it, and I must be on my way after.
We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, we really do.
It's my pleasure. Let's get started.
Watch places the notepad down on the ground and moves towards Willow and the supply shelf. As Willow and Watch begin to move the supply shelf, Finn creeps over towards the notepad. Nonchalantly, Finn bends down to pick up the notepad, trying not to be seen.
What are you doing?
Just tying my shoe. The darn aglet fell off and the laces keep coming undone. What terrible luck I have. Oh my.
Your aglet. Never mind.
Watch and Willow continue to move the shelf. Finn picks up the notepad and turns away from Watch and Willow. Finn begins to read the notepad with astonishment.
How's this?
Not quite. A little more towards you.
Okay.
Willow and Watch move the supply shelf towards Watch.
Sorry, I meant towards me.
Okay.
Willow and Watch move the supply shelf towards Willow.
Well, actually...
That looks perfect to me. Now, if you'll excuse...
Willow panics as Finn still reads the notepad.
Wait,
Willow knocks something liquid, and that stains off the shelf and onto Watch before Finn is noticed.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. There was a rat, and it ran right through the supplies on this shelf, and it must have knocked that down all over you. I'm sorry, I was trying to warn you. Let me help you with your shirt.
Enough. Please, just let go of me. Now, it's fine. Unfortunately, I think it's time that I left. I have other things I must attend to now, and I also have a brand new mess to deal with on my shirt. I don't think I'll be on my way.
Upon hearing this and reading the final piece of information, Finn drops the notepad to the ground behind them. A light crash is heard. Finn is stunned.
What was that?
I saw the rat. It was the rat again. I saw it run across the room, scurried right along the wall after it knocked that broom to the ground.
Right. Well, we certainly should get that checked out, but until then, I bid you adieu. Please, if you need anything else from me, just don't ask.
Finn, finally unstunned, picks up the notepad and hands it to Watch. Watch scans the notepad and flips through the pages. Willow begins to clean up the mess created by the spillage.
Your notepad.
Thank you. I almost forgot it.
I won't.
Pause. Watch secretly removes a page from the clipboard and folds it before slipping it into Finn's pocket.
I'll be seeing you soon then.
Watch exits. Pause. Willow pokes her head out the door and looks both ways outside the closet before retracting and closing the door.
What just happened? What did you read?
The radio on the shelf turns itself on abruptly and begins playing a commercial with the same theme song heard before leading it in. Willow and Finn turn and listen.
Trouble in Paradise and No Way Out? Well, do we have a deal for you? We are so happy to announce that applications for our open lottery for families with income levels that are Class D and below. Don't clown around and wait till you drown in your own sorrow tomorrow. Apply today.
The radio abruptly cuts out and turns off.
Please tell me what's going on.
The end. It's finally here. I thought it'd be brighter, but there are only shadows surrounding us, flying from the depths and swallowing us into an abyss.
What? What are you talking about?
Everything. Everything. I'm talking about everything.
What about everything?
It's nothing.
You didn't read it after all of that?
Or it will be soon.
You're really starting to lose me.
The flooding.
What about it?
It spanned farther than our housing sector.
You lied?
I'd say it was a little bigger than a lie.
How much?
I don't think I can bear to say it. They broke the rules.
This isn't something that's negotiable. We're in this together. What's our rule?
What?
I said, what's our rule?
Stay quiet and stay together.
And what's the second part of that rule?
I just said it.
Just say it one more time. One more time for all the people in the back with a hard time hearing.
Stay together.
Stay together. Exactly. Stay together. No matter what. I've got you, and you've got me, and we've gotten this far, so the only thing that can stop us now is ourselves. You've got to tell me what was on those plans, and you've got to tell me now.
Okay, fine. What I'm going to tell you isn't going to be easy for you to hear, and you may not believe a word of it, but no, I would never lie to you.
I know this is hard. Just do your best.
Thank you. The first page I saw on the notepad was a map of the Earth with a drawing of our ship's course, leaving our housing sector's location and heading towards a marked location. The thing is, we weren't the only ship on the map.
Well, that makes sense. Our sector wasn't the only one being flooded.
But it was more than just a few ships and a few routes. There were maybe 100 ships from all across the globe setting to depart and arrive at the very same time, all to a central destination.
What are you trying to say?
Our sector and the others affected weren't just special cases. The flooding is happening everywhere, all across the globe.
How do you know?
I saw the next page.
What?
The so-called takeoff, as our friend was telling us about earlier. The next step in all of this.
But that's what I'm confused about. The ship took off. We already left the dock. If we aren't landing somewhere and we haven't already landed, then how can we take off again? And more importantly, if everything and everywhere is being flooded, then there's nowhere for us to go. What's the point in leaving if there's absolutely nowhere else to go?
Think about earlier. Don't you think it was a bit peculiar that the Watch bought our story about being astronauts?
An astronaut is a perfectly normal job.
Oh, really? So how many astronauts have you seen in your life, or in general?
Well, maybe we were just really believable. I mean, I thought we were pretty convincing.
It was hardly an award-winning performance.
And besides, the captain of the ship said that the crew would be expecting some astronauts anyways.
Exactly. Why are they expecting astronauts in particular?
But to me, that doesn't seem all that weird.
Keep thinking about everything. The ship taking off again. The Watch buying our supposed astronaut story. There being nowhere for the ship to land. Our landing assignment together with all the other astronauts. Don't you see what's going on?
Of course. I want to know, but it's just not all coming together for me. Please just tell me what's going on.
Don't you get it? We're not going north. We're going to the...
The ship horn blares 3 times. Suddenly, the starlights power on, and a low whirring sound is heard before abruptly turning off. They will have closed their eyes during this and open their eyes after. Finn holds and rubs their head.
What?
I said we're...
What did you say?
I don't know. I can't remember.
You can't remember?
No.
No?
I'm sorry.
That's it? You're sorry?
Well, I think there was another page.
What was on it? You've got to remember.
I'm trying.
What was it?
Some circles, I think.
What else? Anything else?
Words, maybe names. All the lottery winners, I think. Maybe.
What about them?
I really can't remember. I'm sorry.
I can't believe what you're telling me.
I can't believe it either. I don't remember what I can't believe, I guess.
Pause.
My face hurts.
Mine too.
I'm sorry you don't remember.
Sorry you don't either.
I wish we were somewhere else.
I wish we were closer to the stars.
And the moon? Don't forget about the moon.
How could I?
Wait a second.
I'm always waiting. What's going on?
How did we even get here?
The radio abruptly turns on and begins playing another commercial with the same theme song leading in.
Some people say time is money, and in this case, they weren't lying. Get your lottery applications in today, or you may not be here tomorrow.
The commercial cuts out and the radio abruptly turns off.
It adds up, doesn't it? It has to. I just can't figure out why. Why are they all hiding this?
There's no responsibility, no accountability for it on their end. No better opportunity for them to get people to willingly leave their homes. What's worse is that they knew. They knew it all along, and they did nothing. They left all those people behind and brought us. Why? Why did we get chosen? What makes us so special? Why are we here?
Must have been fate. We were meant to be here.
Fate is just a fancy word for money, my fine fellow. Money makes the world go round.
Well, what happens when the world stops spinning? I wonder how long it'll take for them to realize that money can't buy anything when everyone has it.
There ceases to be any profit without exploitation. No fate without face.
This is all just so crazy. What are we gonna do?
Everything we knew before is gone. We can't remember it anymore. If the people that were left behind can overcome the odds and survive, then I'll start to remember them. I just know it. History's remembered in the eye of the victor, after all.
You're the one who tells it.
Would you butt out of my point and let me finish?
Don't boss me around.
You don't need a boss to get your work done.
Boss me around today and you'll just complain about all the work that was lost wasted on complaining. I want the keys.
Give you the keys.
Give me means. Give me the power to deem what I'm worth and my work just as well. Give me the means.
Give you the keys to the land and the earth.
And the gate to protect it.
If you know it's from dirt, then it belongs to the earth.
To all and not one, or it can't have any worth.
Tell that to my landlord.
What landlord?
Do you see this place? It's filthy, and I'm sure it hasn't been cleaned in years. What's the rent on this unit? Is the price controlled? Is the plumbing good? How about maintenance?
Why don't you take a look and answer that yourself?
How can people profit off the fruits of the land?
I don't make the rules, I just follow them.
Pause.
What a world.
Isn't it?
You know what? We should start writing everything down so we don't forget it. All the rules we have to remember.
That's a brilliant idea. I think I have a piece of paper in my pocket. Do you have a pen?
I'll see if I can find one.
Finn pulls out a folded piece of paper. They open the piece of paper, but there's already writing. Finn begins to read it over, before becoming increasingly distressed until they let out a yelp, dropping the piece of paper and curling up into a ball.
What's going on?
The paper, it's not blank.
That's great. Then we must have had this idea before. What's it say?
It's not from before. It's the last page. I must have stolen it.
You stole the watch's plan and don't even remember?
I must have done it by accident.
Well, by accident or not, we've got all the answers we need, and now we don't even have to write anything down ourselves.
I guess that's one way to look at it. Here, why don't you read it for yourself?
Willow scans the sheet and progressively becomes more and more horrified.
So, we were selected. There was no lottery.
There's the rich and the poor. One has the means and the other works their whole lives trying to get it. Looks like we'll be working for the rest of our lives.
Pause.
So that's just it?
What are we going to do? What are we going to do if we're stuck with all of these people?
You tell me, what are we going to do?
I don't know. This wasn't how it was supposed to go.
I guess there's literally only one thing we can do. Wait here until we get wherever we're going.
We're just gonna wait and let it all happen?
What else can we do?
What if the watch calls the captain and discovers we've been lying? What if they figure out that we're not astronauts, that I stole the plans? What if we forget? I'm so afraid of forgetting it all.
You need to relax. We've made it this far. We'll figure it out. We have love on our side.
I know, it's just hard knowing that I could lose you.
I know, but please just don't think like that. This isn't going to happen if you don't speak it into existence. If you don't speak it into existence.
How? How do you know it isn't going to happen?
Trust me. If they let us mourn before our deaths, we'd never die.
But what if we just don't know? We're all just waiting for it to a certain extent. It's all just a matter of when. How do you know we're going to be okay?
I had the same feeling when the watch was banging on the door.
Well, that's reassuring.
Right before I answered the door, I felt something in my gut. Something that said everything was going to be all right. And it was. Just listen to your gut. What's it telling you?
Finn squeezes their abs, stomach, diaphragm, and general upper area, grunting and exerting as much force as possible.
I'm trying, but it just feels like I'm about to shit myself.
Stop. You're doing it all wrong.
Finn abruptly stops squeezing.
I really hope I didn't just shit myself.
Will Finn's pants. A button falls to the ground off of Finn's shirt or pants, and Finn falls quickly behind it, chasing it. Finn picks up the button, closes their eyes, and squeezes the button in their hand with an intense focus. Finn suddenly opens their eyes.
My button. It fell and I almost lost it.
You didn't. It's right there.
When I picked it up, I realized that a button is more than just a piece of plastic. It's symbolic. It's something special that connects things together. Everyone has a button. You're my button, and I can't lose my button.
There's nothing to worry about. Let's try something else, okay? Just listen to me.
Okay.
Now, lie down nice and flat.
Finn lies down flat on the ground.
I want you to close your eyes. Close them and look at the moon.
Finn does not close their eyes.
You see it?
I can't.
Yes, you can. Stay still and focus. What do you see?
I don't know.
Well, it helps if you actually keep your eyes closed.
I was.
Were you really, though?
I thought I was, but fine, I'll try harder.
Good. Now, close your eyes, just like before.
Wait. I need music, to put me in the mood.
Fine. I'll get the radio. Just wait a second.
Willow retrieves the radio from the supply shelf and places it on the ground before turning the dial. Mystical, dreamy, earthy music is heard.
How's that?
Perfect,
I know. Now, close your eyes. Just close your eyes.
Just close my eyes.
Finn closes their eyes. Willow gently places their hand on Finn's.
All the way, just like that. Now, see the moon. Really see the moon. You see it?
I see something. It's blurry and kind of out of focus, though.
Focus harder. You can do this.
I think I can see it. I see the moon. I see the moon.
What's it look like?
It's spectacular. It's got curves and craters all over its magnificent round shape. It's full, just like the moon I saw earlier.
What else?
There are stars dancing all around it. Everything's swaying. And I'm being drawn closer and closer to it. I think it's trying to tell me something. You didn't tell me the moon could speak.
What's it saying?
It's faint. I can't quite make it out. I need to get closer. I need to be one with it, one with the moon.
What's it sound like?
It's getting louder. I hear a low rumble and quiet, angelic voices, almost like a choir, a group of children caroling in the winter.
Wow.
Now there's a saxophone and a trumpet, a whole band of instruments. It's unreal. It's absolutely beautiful. Join me, please.
What?
Lay down, close your eyes.
Why?
The moon wants to speak with the both of us.
It won't be the same.
Trust me, just close your eyes.
Really,
The moon is telling me it's okay. Please, let go and join me.
Willow lays down and closes their eyes. During the sequence, the supply shelf moves to the side again and again to reveal the porthole. The porthole opens, and the light from before slowly starts to shine through, until a narrow but discernible golden glow illuminates the room once again.
What do you see?
everything. I see you.
I can see you too. And what do you hear? Do you hear the music?
It's speaking louder than I'll ever be allowed to. It's something else.
It's beautiful.
Should we move closer to it?
Let's.
Willow and Finn hold each other's hands. Willow and Finn slowly start to float until they are facing upright.
I can hear it. Can you?
I hear it loud and clear.
What's it saying?
That everything is going to be all right. That I can be anybody I want to be. Do anything I want to do. Look at the moon. It says that I can. It says that we can. We can do it. We're going home. Look at the moon. Do you hear it too?
I do. We can do it.
Let's move closer.
Step by step.
Where are we going?
To be one with the moon.
To make our own rules.
To be together.
To be free.
To be who we really are.
To find home.
Wherever love may lead us.
A bright flash of light. The starlight bursts on all at full power. A great warbling whirring sound with possible spacey tones behind it are heard. A light shines very brightly through the porthole and illuminates the room. Willow and Finn become astronauts in their dreamy state and dance. The pair can both have some pieces of their costume that glow in the dark, and perhaps a flurry of stars that light up around them beyond the starlights, as they dance under a blackout, with the audience seeing only the lights on their background. Finally, after the climax of their dance, they come together and embrace. The music on the fades. Blackout. Pause. Then, a loud repetitive alarm sounds and turns off. Then, an announcement over the intercom is played.
Calling all crew members, we arrived on Luna. Please report to your posts as I list them now. All farmers, please report to Unit C0369 for planting and growing preparations. All constructors, please report to Unit B0121 for building preparations. All janitors, please report to Unit J0437 for cleaning preparations. All doctors, please report to Unit F0386 for health and medical preparations. All teachers, please report to Unit R0655 for education and schooling preparations. And all astronauts, please report to Unit A0207 to assist and prepare for all landing needs. Any other crew members should report to the main deck to help unload the cargo, as well as help to escort the passengers off the ship. Thank you.
Finn and Willow are standing in a militant and uniformly straight position next to each other. A knock on the door is heard.
You may enter.
Watch enters holding 2 astronaut uniforms.
Hello, my friends. Ready to get to work?
Reporting for duty.
Willow and Finn salute.
Perfect. My plans, please.
Finn reaches into their pocket and retrieves a folded piece of paper, unfolds it, and hands it to Watch.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
And your dream state? Would you be so as kind of collect it for me?
Willow walks over to the power breaker and opens it. Willow removes 2 small glowing tubes of liquid and closes the power breaker. Willow walks back over to Watch and hands them the tubes.
Dream state has been harnessed.
Another long and loud alarm is sounded.
Well, that's our cue. Let's depart, shall we?
You're ready to serve.
Please lead us.
Follow me.
Watch exits, followed by Finn and Willow. The radio still on the ground begins to broadcast out loud.
With the storm of the century brewing in your area, there are only so many choices to evacuate. We're offering you a one-way ticket out of your devastation site into a habitable location, all in the lap of luxury. Well, that's of course if you can afford it.
The ship horn blares 3 times. End of play.
Amazing. That was the end of the reading. So I'm going to quickly take all of our amazing actors and our stage manager off. A little round of applause for them. That was amazing. So let me remove them. And then I'm going to add our costume designer, Alex, onto the stream. And he's going to present to you his costume designs. And I'll take myself off. And this is Alex, and I'll leave it to you.
Hi. I'm Alex Richard. I am the costume designer for the Moonchildren. I need to share my screen. One moment. There we are. So first up, for the Watch's costume, I took inspiration from a couple different sources. I looked at the jumpsuits that astronauts wore, as well as some of the designs for sailors in the Navy, and combined some of those elements, as well as one of the through lines that I wanted to carry out through the costumes was the color purple, since that is a recurring theme within the show. So the watch has several areas where those elements are visible. And as well, he has other colors displayed on his chest as the metals, which kind of give him a power over the other characters that do not have this knowledge of these colors. For Willow and Finn, I wanted them to have matching costumes to show the homogeny of these basically slaves that they're bringing in. And I was inspired by just a hospital gown design to kind of have that uniformity. And then at the end, they would have a gray dress underneath that would be opened, and the top layer would be held by magnets. And it would open up to show lights underneath that would be turned on during their dance sequence that they have. And then when this was going to be performed live, we were going to have ushers that acted basically as the ship's attendants. And so I wanted their design to be kind of a mixture of just a general usher outfit, as well as having some similarities to the watch's uniform with the sailor hat and the tie. And then the spacesuit at the end is fully gray to show that the kids have been brought into the uniformity of this slave group, and is just fully gray with their little number label to show that they are ready to serve. I'm not sure there.
Perfect. Are you all done? Do you have anything
Yes.
else you want to add? Okay, perfect. So I'm going to invite our actors back on, and we'll stay on here for like 5 or 10 minutes, however long. And if you guys have any questions that you wanted to ask us, then you all can type those comments into the comment board on the YouTube video, and we'll answer them for you. And if not, it was a great show, and I'm really happy with how everything went. We're going to try and do more of these type of readings, hopefully throughout the summer and until we're back on campus and everything is opened up. And I hope everyone enjoyed this, and I really thought it was quite well. So good job, guys. Yeah, so we'll wait, I guess. We'll give it a few minutes, let people gather their thoughts and whatnot.
It was fun.
Yeah. There were definitely a few things that I would improve and fix for next time, but overall, really solid job, pretty seamless.
You did it.
Yes, we did it.
There were a couple times where my brain just stopped working, and I was like, no, keep going.
Ooh, okay, so we got a few questions. So our first one, what does the ending mean? So I actually have left a foreword that I left out of this reading because of its political intent, and I also talk about what my intentions were with the ending. So I have that for you guys if you're curious to read on that. But my kind of thinking on the ending is that despite the like hope and the inspiration that these children kind of bring, it's meant to kind of inspire people and kind of let them know that like these kids are being taken hostage and being used as slaves to this new moon colony, as well as like other similar children with these abilities of lower income. So the idea is kind of like that while this hope and like you know inspiration can kind of culminate within these two people, it isn't enough to just have it within these two kids. It needs to culminate amongst all of us, because if we just allow it to kind of be there, we'll just continue to act with passivity if we just don't work and all act together. So showing people the kind of effects of not acting together was my intentions with that. I don't know if you guys have any like thing to add on to the ending. I know you didn't write it, but any thoughts you guys might have on it?
No.
No. Okay. Yeah.
This is your play. I'm not gonna.
No, for sure. So our next question is, what inspired me to write this? So actually, this is a really interesting story. I was working at a theater internship over the summer, and we were doing this really great writing exercise where you get a bunch of different prompts and you kind of put something together. So I think a few of my prompts were like a ship and children on like sailing somewhere to a distant land. So that kind of evolved from them leaving home and then it taking on kind of a lot of social issues that I'm interested in. So like climate change and class inequalities, as well as like the value of the worker and like things like that. So I think it kind of culminated, and especially we kind of see all these contradictions within capitalism being exposed right now with the coronavirus going on. And I think it has a lot of relevant messaging before that happened, but also especially just now being amplified. Okay. We got a really great comment. She said, "You guys were so good, and I'm so glad we were able to enjoy this piece electronically. I loved it."
Thank you.
We got another question. How long did it take to write it? So I started writing it over the summer, and it became a 10-page play. And then once I applied for the playwriting fellowship, I needed to expand it to be a one-act play. So it, I think, lengthened to about 37-ish pages, bordering about 40, because my format is a little bit different than the normal, how normal playwriting format. So after that, I got the stage reading, went back to the drawing board, and I think it added like maybe 10, 15 pages. And then we had readings like once a week for the first few weeks once we had auditions and were cast. And I was rewriting and editing. So it really didn't finish. This version wasn't finished until like 2 weeks ago, probably. So, and I'm still going to edit and add afterwards. So I think something that's important, especially with art, is that, and like this, is it can continue to keep getting better and change, especially within times. And I think the editing process and like hearing it out loud is hugely beneficial. So I'm planning on continuing to edit it. I have a lot of changes just from this reading that I want to implement. But yeah, so I guess almost an entire year I've been working on it. Other questions? I thought we got another comment. I thought the isolation of the two characters was portrayed very well. Awesome. We got congrats to all. Love the relationship between Mia and Willow. Technical problem. Watch's volume was much lower than the others. We will take that into consideration, and I appreciate the criticism. We're definitely working out all the glitches, but I think that this has the potential to be really awesome format for the near future until we're able to get into school again. Fantastic. Wonderful job. Okay, here's another question. How did you guys develop the relationship between Finn and Willow? Since I've been talking a lot, do you guys want to maybe give some insight on that?
Okay. I think definitely Liam made a point to have Leah and I just really bond on like a normal person level and not a character level before we started really developing the characters. We did a lot of kind of bonding exercises where we got to know each other in the first couple of rehearsals, and then we eventually, when we started developing the characters, we would discuss at certain scenes how their relationship was developing, how we felt about the dynamic between the characters during certain scenes, and I think that was the main way that we really tried to bring life to the characters.
Mm-hmm. There were a lot of like trust exercises right at the beginning. Like Liam did these great exercises where we would like blindfolded walk around the room, like one of us would guide the other. And Liam he would start our rehearsals with little meditations and kind of guide us through like questions and explorations of what our character would do in certain situations. And we'd talk about them and talk about how we related and didn't relate to our character and the other person's character. It was super fun.
Yeah. I think my goal was really just, especially working with you guys, just really getting to the human level that is within these characters. Like one point that I'm really huge on, when writing this, I wanted to make all of the characters within the play gender fluid, because I think that it's important to start moving towards kind of like lens over society where we just are seeing them as people and not genderized people. So I think really focusing on finding what about these characters like spoke to these specific actors or people, and finding the happy mediums between the both were super important. And like I told both of them, I think I told both of them, maybe not, but a lot of a lot of their personalities, what they've said and what they contributed are living within the characters now. So like, even if they aren't playing these characters years from now, their words, their work, their personalities, what they did are still going to be living within these characters, which is super awesome. Yeah, I think that is my answer on that question. Okay, I think we'll give it maybe one more minute, and then I think we'll cut it off because it's been a long night, and I know people have other things to do. Yeah, let's cut it off. I think it's all good. So stay tuned with White Mouse on Facebook, on social media, to keep up with what we're doing. I really think this is a cool format, and we're going to try to work on producing some more stuff like this. So stay tuned, and I hope everyone's staying safe and healthy during this really crazy time. So yeah, without further ado, I guess I will be logging off. But yeah. Thank you all so much
for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.